The Camino de Santiago, often known as the Way of St. James, is a medieval pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela in Galicia in the northwestern region of Spain. According to legend, the Apostle St. James the Great's remains were buried here and discovered by a shepherd in the 9th century. In truth, the city is named after the Apostle. Santiago de Compostela translates as St. James of the Field of Stars. For centuries, the Camino de Santiago has been designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site for its vital role in facilitating cultural exchanges between people from all across Europe and the world. So exactly what is the Camino de Santiago? The Camino de Santiago is much more than a pilgrimage. It is a once-in-a-lifetime experience that draws thousands of pilgrims from all over the world. There are numerous starting sites on the Camino de Santiago routes, and the one you choose is entirely dependent on your personal preferences and what you hope to gain from the trip. Because the ancient pilgrims would have started their trips from their own homes, there are so many diverse starting sites. As a result, numerous Camino routes have arisen over the years. The Camino Francis remains the most famous and popular of the Camino routes, with Sarria in Galicia serving as the most common starting place for Camino pilgrims. While 92% of pilgrims walk to Santiago de Compostela, about 5 to 8% prefer to ride the Camino by bicycle, and they are referred to as bicigrinos or bicigrinas, meaning bike pilgrims. As you traverse the Camino de Santiago, you will receive a stamp from the various villages and hostels that you pass through. At the end of your journey, you turn in your stamped passport in Santiago de Compostela and receive a certificate of completion. Cycling the Camino allows you to explore the trail on 2 wheels, covering more ground each day. However, in order to earn your Compostela credential in Santiago, you must cycle at least 200 kilometers as opposed to 100 kilometers walking. Hitting the trail on a mountain bike is an exciting experience, but we only recommend it to individuals who are familiar with bike maintenance and cycling. Every year, people of all ages, countries, and origins walk and pedal the Camino routes. People from 190 different countries arrived in Santiago de Compostela in 2019. Many pilgrims walk the Camino de Santiago for religious or spiritual reasons, while many more do it for the culture, legacy, or fitness challenge. According to Camino statistics for 2020, about 54,000 pilgrims obtained their Compostela, with the majority of pilgrims coming from European nations and 76% doing it for spiritual reasons. The Camino de Santiago draws pilgrims from all over the world. Approximately 350,000 Compostela pilgrim certificates were awarded in 2019 alone, compared to little over 1,200 in 1985, indicating how popular it has become in recent years. The motivation for modern pilgrims to travel the old trail has evolved with time, and it is today a delightful experience for anybody who enjoys walking or riding. There are numerous approaches to taking on this one-of-a-kind experience. Along the way, you'll meet some lovely individuals and see some stunning sights in Spain. The beauty of the Camino routes is that you can walk as much or as little as you choose. You could walk for weeks from Le Puy to Santiago, a month from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, a week, or just a few days. Everyone can find a Camino path that suits them. One thing to bear in mind is that in order to earn your Compostela Pilgrim Certificate, you must walk or cycle the last 100 kilometers into Santiago de Compostela. You should also stamp your pilgrim passport, known as a credencial, along the way to prove that you have walked the distance. The Camino de Santiago pathways are clearly marked with scalloped shells and marks painted everywhere, from trees, roads, and walls. Simply follow the yellow arrows and they'll lead you all the way to Santiago de Compostela. Many pilgrims camp along the trail or stay in hostels in the many towns that the routes pass through. It is very common for pilgrims to meet friends along their journey, and to start alone but finish in a group. Since everyone has their own reason for undertaking the Camino, it can be an extremely personal and spiritual experience. Walking or biking the Camino de Santiago is a special and once-in-a-lifetime journey that can bring solitude, clarity, and peace to many of life's challenges. It began as a Catholic religious pilgrimage and still serves as so for many pilgrims. However, whether your goals are fitness-related, religious, spiritual, or to reflect on a significant life event, the Camino will bring you the time to reflect on your life in the beautiful scenery of the Spanish countryside and quaint villages. We hope you enjoyed this journey. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to see all of our videos of all the amazing places to see in the world. Also, please be sure to leave a comment below to share your tips and tricks for how to best see and navigate this amazing place on Earth.